automation have arrived, and they're going to transform society forever. From cashiers to CEOs, more jobs are getting replaced by their machines every day. The rise of new AI models is put on the accelerator, placing hundreds of millions of jobs at risk. But as the world becomes more robotic, more technology focused, what place will there be for humans? Just how many of us will lose our jobs? And if so, who will buy anything? How will the economy even work? Well, today in this video, we're going to find out what's going to happen to humanity in the new age, and how the economy is going to function in a completely different way. Now, it seems like every year there's some new thing that everyone is predicting will completely take over the future. Most of them get overhyped and they end up fizzling out, or it takes decades to see any real changes. AI and automation are different. As we'll see, they're already changing society in a massive way. This is just the beginning. Tons of different jobs and industries are either about to change forever or they already have. We mentioned cashiers earlier, and they're one of the jobs at the highest risk of automation. In most chain shops and supermarkets, it's already happened, and we all see it today. It's very rare to go to any store now without any self-checkout machines, and if they don't have them, it just seems outdated. 2023 was actually a record year for these machines, with over 200,000 new ones added to the shops across the world. And there have been mixed feelings about them ever since they were introduced, but most people at least tolerate them. In a 2021 survey, 60% of people said they prefer them to the regular checkout. Most of the time they're faster than other methods, more efficient, and if you're in your own head, you don't have to speak to anyone. Even if all of this is just a minor improvement over an incredibly slow system, people do prefer it, especially the corporations using them. The amount of money they save is astronomical. What used to take paying 20 people can now be done with 20 machines and only 2 employees to oversee them. It doesn't matter if they lose tons of stock to theft, which is very common with the machines, as they still easily pay for themselves over time. It also doesn't matter if the whole thing does end up being a lot more annoying for the consumer. The process hasn't been fully automated really. The machines only take some of the load, leaving the rest of it up to you, meaning corporations make you do the work and cut out the cost while also making a profit from it. And this small example is a glimpse into a future of automation on a much larger scale. Instead of the whole process getting automated, people's jobs will get replaced partly by machines and partly by passing the work onto the consumers instead. It's something you see in another category of jobs that's about to disappear: customer service. Years and years ago, if you called a company's customer service line, you would immediately be talking to another person who could understand your very specific question. But now automation has made it so you need to go through 5 different layers of machines before you're even in the queue. And that's if the bot on the other end can even understand what you're saying. It's an absolute nightmare for everyone. And it clearly doesn't matter if the service gets better, as the only thing that matters is whether it makes a profit. AI might make these problems a little bit better, but it will also replace lots of the things they still need real people for. And it's already happening. Take the Indian e-commerce company Dukaan, which was worth $70 million in the last evaluation. And in 2023, their CEO took to Twitter to brag about how he'd been able to replace 90% of the customer service staff with an AI program, reducing the company's cost by 85%. You can feel the joy oozing out of his announcement that he can fire 90% of one of his departments. While other CEOs might hide it a bit better, they're still salivating at the possibilities as well. This is something which will soon happen to the entire customer service industry. Eventually, even representatives in physical stores could get replaced by a touchscreen and a chatbot. It's yet another whole category of jobs that will soon just disappear under the steamroller of automation and AI. Data entry jobs are going the same way too. Between 2014 and 2022, the amount of people working these jobs in the US fell by over 20%, from 375,000 to 295,000. It's already a dying industry. Advances in AI will push this over the edge. The more procedural and consistent the work is, the more likely it is that a computer can do it instead. To go a bit further, administration and other office jobs are also destined to be replaced. This category encompasses millions of jobs. Lots of them could easily vanish in the next 10 years. Some will survive, of course. If you need specialist skills or you need to deal with lots of different problems, it's much harder to automate. But the ones lower down on the ladder will almost certainly go, which will just make it harder for young people to get an entry-level job. A lot of the time when new technology comes in, it creates more jobs than it replaces. When we started using cars instead of horses for transportation, it didn't upend the economy because there were new roles for people to take. It was the same with the Industrial Revolution before that. But what will happen with AI? Will the same thing be the case? Well, it's a lot more complicated with AI, and it isn't a black and white picture. One of my favorite TV shows is Mr. Robot, and you can probably tell from the channel. But did you see the mail service they use in the show? Well, they're actually today's video sponsor, Proton VPN, the VPN service that's taking the world by storm with its massive global network. With over 6,500 servers in more than 110 countries, Proton VPN has the most extensive coverage available, making it the go-to choice for anyone looking to enhance their online experience. Want to catch up on your favorite Netflix shows that aren't available in your country? Proton VPN allows you to change your public-facing IP address so that you can stream content from anywhere in the world, whether it's national TV programs or international sports events. Proton VPN has got you covered. And for those who value privacy, Proton VPN is a must-have. Whether you're an activist, a journalist, or someone who just wants to browse privately, Proton VPN helps protect what's yours. It's one of the few tools out there that truly fights back against big tech and protects your personal information. But as you can see in Mr. Robot, Proton is way more than just Proton VPN. Proton also has a whole bundle for you to de-Google your life from Mail, Pass Manager, Proton Docs, and Drive. And it doesn't stop there. Proton VPN also comes with an integrated ad blocker that's completely open source and uses only the strongest, most secure protocols like WireGuard and OpenVPN. Their app's code is completely open source and publicly available for inspection online. They've also commissioned independent security experts to audit all of their apps. You can actually read their analysis on their website, but it should be clear that Proton will never share or sell your information with third parties. So why wait? Get Proton VPN today and enjoy unrestricted, secure, and fast internet access no matter where you are. Check them out today using my link in the description below. And for new users, if you use the link in the description below, you'll get 55% off using my link. Now we've seen how new generative AI models like ChatGPT are almost perfectly suited to basic coding. Give them a single prompt and they'll do hours of work within seconds. With a bit of editing by someone who knows what they're doing, it's fit for purpose. Just like the self-checkout machines, it isn't a question of the complete replacement of people. It's just that one skilled coder could use advanced AI to do the work of 5 of 10 people who are new to the field. It means that even if AI can't do 100% of the tasks associated with a job, it raises the bar exponentially as to what the standard is in the industry, which can in turn replace tons of people. A lot of these jobs aren't things people should really be spending their whole lives on anyway though, because nobody really wants to be a cashier or work in data entry when they're growing up. In a 50 or 100 years time when the dust is settled, the world may actually be thankful that we've escaped from all this menial labor. But until that point, the economy is going to have to undergo some huge changes. And the main question will be, who will be buying anything if nobody's really working anymore? As we may very well be in a world where not everyone is expected or needed to even have a job, simply because there just aren't enough of them to go around. So what are the various predictions for how bad the damage is really going to be? Well, there's lots of different estimates, but even the most conservative still mean that millions of jobs will get replaced. In the short term, it isn't looking good. It's generally agreed that tens of millions of jobs will be lost over the next decade to AI. A lot more will be impacted in some way, which means that some parts of the work will get automated. For customer service jobs, it means employees would only deal with the complicated problems that an AI can't solve. Even though most predictions think it will boost the global economy by trillions of dollars. So how does this make sense? If people are actually going to be replaced, then how will the economy go up so much if no one can buy anything?